Hi, it's Silky from Grief to Love. So my full name is Silky Herwold and I'm a grief specialist. And I work with the bereaved and people who are grieving, and I've been doing that for over 11 years now. So I don't only work with grief, I also work with trauma, massive trauma, anxieties, fears, phobias, and all of that. And I really enjoy working with grief. My husband always thinks that it's kind of weird how much I enjoy working with grief, but the truth is that I just really love helping people when they're in that much pain. To help somebody get a little bit of relief, to help be able to help somebody breathe a little easier, and also to help somebody realize that they don't need to let go, they don't need to move on, but that there is a possibility to still feel some kind of relationship, some kind of an ongoing connection with their loved one, and the relief that comes from that. It's just beautiful. Now, I think the first ever client I saw with regards to grief, that would have been 11 years ago. And this lady came to see me because she wanted to stop drinking. And I asked her a little bit about the problem. And she was drinking pretty much 1, 2 bottles of wine every single night. And I asked her, when did this problem start? And she said, 4.5 years ago. I was like, what happened? And she told me how her husband had passed away, and yeah, she just kind of got into the habit that every night when she got home, she just got into the habit of having a drink. It just kind of, helped her relax and make those horrible feelings that we all know that grief that are there in grief, made those feelings go away. And so yeah, that's how the whole thing started. So I realized that in actual fact she didn't really need help with alcohol. She needed help with the grief. And so we did a number of sessions together, and I just saw her every time just get that little bit better and that little bit better. And after a few weeks, month, yeah, she was bubbly and she had energy and she was participating in life again. And she was like, man, I finally am living the way that my husband would be proud of me now. He would be so happy that I'm starting to enjoy life again. And that just, oh, that just made me so happy for her. And so yeah, I've always enjoyed working with grief. And then I had my own share of grief, and my sister passed away. Was it now 2.5, almost 3 years ago now? And to see my own parents in that much grief, in that emotional turmoil. My brother-in-law, her husband, they were high school sweethearts, and it was just horrible because I had seen it so many times in my professional work that people's life had been lost to their grief. They had been lost to alcohol, they had been lost to depression, they'd been lost to anxiety, they'd been just become completely stuck, unable to really participate in life. And I was determined not to allow that to happen to my own family. Kind of like, also, I must admit, for pretty selfish reasons, because I had just lost my soul sister. My sister and I were very, very close, and I had just lost my soul sister, and I could not bear the thought of losing another one of those people that I loved so dearly to grief, and not being able to be present and participate in life. So I kind of had to work it out, and I went even deeper. And of course, people ask me, how did you go with the grieving process as the professional grief specialist? And I said, well, the person who was grieving, that was more the sister. I was, it was just me. But what it did enable me to do was to really get a really good grip on all of those processes and work my way through it, and also help my loved ones through the grieving process. And so through all of that, I've gone even deeper, because I truly understand now when people say, how horrible they feel. I now get the depth of that incredibly painful feeling. I really get just how deep it goes, when beforehand I kind of got it, but I don't think I really got it, whereas now I do. And so, yeah, my grief work has been so much more refined now. And to the degree that I was invited at the 70th anniversary conference of the Australian Hypnotherapy Association, it was at 2019, the World Conference in Brisbane, where I was the speaker on grief. And yeah, I spoke to an international audience. And it was just fantastic to be able to share my unique way of working with grief with such a wonderful audience, and inspire other people to work more with grief in this way. So yeah, I just want to give you a quick introduction to who I am and why I enjoy working with grief so much. And yeah, I'll talk to you the next time. Thank you. Goodbye.